Alright, much Abrew about nothing time. We are cruel ultimating. Cruel ultimatuming. Something like that. Cruel control in modern. And we will definitely play first. Alright, we're going to keep this. Tap lands are annoying, but Search for Iskanta is very good, and we could hit it on tap land. And, I mean, we got Cruel Ultimatum. Solve for Falls. Go. See what our opponent's up to. Untap land would make our lives very happy. Verdant Catacombs. Opponent passes. Well, Drowned Catacombs. Pass the turn. So our opponent, I don't know what our opponent's playing. Death Shadow, Jund, Abzan, Collected Company. Whatever it is, they got masterpieces. Opponent. Tutors up, Overgrown Tomb. Untapped. Alright, probably Death Shadow. Good thing we have Fatal Push. Hopefully we draw a land, or we might have to main phase Think Twice. Over... Alright, there's a land. So play Scalding Tarn. We're just going to run out Search for Iskanta. And pass the turn. Pretty happy. Search for Iskanta is very powerful. Even just scrying every turn is pretty strong. It should smooth out our lands pretty well. Make sure we get our land drops. Watery Grave. Untapped. Opponent's down to 14. Boo. Alright, Abrupt Decay. That's obnoxious. Blood Crypt. Untapped. Down to 12. And Liliana. Well, we have Think Twices to discard, which is good. But we gotta find a way to not let Liliana ultimate. Alright, Scalding Tarn. Grab a... Steam Vents. Tapped. Terminate. Not good at killing Liliana. Well, let's think twice. Yikes. More Fatal Pushes. What outs do we actually have to Liliana? I don't think there's many. Other than just somehow killing it with, like, Snapcaster, I guess. We don't really have just Planeswalker removal. We'll discard Think Twice. We don't actually have Lightning Bolts either. Opponent passing. Oh my goodness. Alright, Electrolyze our opponent. Redirect to Liliana. There's a land. Okay, we hit a land. That's something. Pass the turn. So at least Liliana's a bit away from ultimating. That's something. I guess we can Cryptic bounce Liliana eventually if we don't find a Snapcaster. Takes up. Probably going to have to discard, I guess Cruel Ultimatum for now. It's just so far away. Opponent's discarded all lands. Crack Polluted Delta. Grab a Watery Grave. Well, there's a Cryptic. Alright. What do we do? I guess we just pass for now. Missing land drops is not ideal, but I think it's necessary here. Probably have to discard a Fatal Push. Opponent plays a land. Takes up Liliana. We will discard Fatal Push. Opponent discards Traverse. Draw a card. Another land is fine. Creeping Tar Pit can be good. Alright, let's play Steam Vents. Untapped. Pass the turn. So I think what we want to do here is probably going to bounce Liliana. Yep. We'll let this go. We could Shadow of Doubt, but I think what we want to do is bounce Liliana while leaving up mana to pay for a Stubborn Denial. Takes up. We will discard Fatal Push. Opponent has Inquisition. Okay. Takes Terminate. And passing. So, let's see. Bounce Liliana, draw a card. Logic Knot's pretty sweet. So play Tar Pit, pass the turn. Now we can counter Liliana on the way back down if we want to, although I'm not even sure if we want to. We might just want to kill it with Tar Pit, or kill our opponent with Tar Pit. Opponent replays Liliana. Alright, I think we're going to counter this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright. X3 seems fine. They shouldn't have Simian Spirit Guide, but you never know. So counter Liliana. Opponent has Death Shadow. Alright, that is a threat. And we need to find a removal spell. Mishra's Bauble. We have 4 Snapcasters, though, which take care of the Death Shadow. Let's cycle Shadow of Doubt. More Tar Pits. Snapcaster? Opponent's going to look at what we draw. Well, let's electrolyze our opponent. Draw a card. There's Snapcaster. That's what we wanted. Play Snapcaster. Get Fatal Push. Fatal Push. Death Shadow. Play a second Tar Pit. Pass the turn. And now I think we might be in decent shape. Obviously depends on what our opponent draws, but they got to deal with these creeping Tar Pits. And we have the mana now where if we find another Snapcaster or Cruel Ultimatum, we can start going on that plan. So I think we might have got over the hump. The turn 3 or whatever it was, Liliana was scary, but I feel like things might have turned around for us. Kolaghan's Command gets back Death Shadow. Or replays Death Shadow. Well, I guess our opponent could kill us somehow? Polluted Delta. 1, 2, 3. Well, play the Swamp. Fire up Tar Pit. I mean, I guess our opponent just has to somehow combo kill us next turn. Hit our opponent to 1. And if they can give Death Shadow double strike or something, then I guess they got us, unfortunately. Opponent goes attacking. Down to 4. Oh, man. What do we do? So we can fire up both Creeping Tar Pits. Our opponent has to have 2 removal spells. If they have 2 removal spells, we lose. We can fire up 1 Creeping Tar Pit, attack our opponent, and try to terminate the Death Shadow. But if our opponent has 1 removal spell plus Stubborn Denial, we lose. They haven't used any Stubborn Denials yet. They've used Bit of Removal. I mean, I think we just got to go for it. Double activate, go to combat. Attack! Do you got 2 removal spells? Whew, they did not. Alright, we made the right choice. I don't think we had a choice, really. We either went for it or we lost, so we snuck it out through the quick Liliana. So what do we want against Death Shadow? That is a good question. So they probably have Tarmogoyfs and Death Shadows, Lilianas, and then just lots of removal and traverse to find their stuff. Fatal Push is a good answer to most of our opponent's things. Spell Snare seems, well, we are on the draw. We can probably go down Shadow of Doubt. Electrolyze is not super exciting. Counter Squall seems reasonable. Collective Brutality is not great. Maybe bring in Vendilion Click. Do we want another Kolaghan's Command? Maybe? Maybe something along these lines? I guess Explosives is fine. Fulminator Mage, not good. Staticaster, not good. Kalidas is kind of meh. Thought Seizes are like okay. Surgical's sort of interesting since our opponent does have some graveyard stuff. Maybe we bring in the Surgical. Go down. Maybe a Nile Spellbomb? Actually, maybe Nile Spellbomb's just better than Surgical. Let's try it like that. Alright, we'll keep this. Lots of untapped lands. Probably get torn apart by discard, but we have Cryptic, which is good. Opponent's going to 6. And keeps. Blue to Delta. And passes. Well, play a Swamp. Pass the turn. Opponent cracks Delta. So if they don't have discard, we can Mana Leak something next turn. Or attempt to, like a Liliana on 3. Watergrave untapped. And Thoughtseize. What's our opponent going to take? Probably Mana Leak would be my guess. So we can't counter something next turn. Takes Kolaghan's Command. Okay. We'll play around Catacombs. Pass the turn. Opponent missed our land drop as well. Which is probably pretty good for us. Nile Spellbomb. Yup. We will let that go. Yeah, let's just drown Catacombs. Pass the turn. Want to be able to pay for Stubborn Denial. That's probably our opponent's primary counter in the main deck. They're probably just going to have to cash in this Nile Spellbomb. I would assume. Yup. Man, it's going to be tempting to just start bouncing our opponent's land if they miss here with Cryptic. That's probably a horrible idea, but it is tempting. Opponent misses. Man, that's so greedy. Well, let's just drown Catacomb. Pass the turn. We're not going to go for it. Opponent cycles Street Wraith. Finds a land. Cracks Bloodstained Mire. I mean, our opponent's got to know we're going to counter something here. Overgrown Tomb. Opponent has Thoughtseize. Yeah, let's Mana Leak. And another Nile Spellbomb. Now play Polluted Delta. Pass the turn. Traverse. Yeah, let's counter draw. More lands. And Inquisition. Can take our Nile Spellbomb. Yep. Well, crack Delta. Get a Steam Vents. Tapped. Play Scalding Tarn. Pass the turn. We're not making much headway at the moment. Inquisition. Alright, we're not going to counter that. Takes our Spell Snare. Alright, crack Scalding Tarn. Steam Vents. Tapped. Blood Crypt. Tapped. Pass the turn. Well, at least we're drawing lots of Cryptics. That's something. Next turn we could potentially double Cryptic. Opponent cashes in their Spellbomb. What do you got, opponent? Bloodstained Mire. Cracks Bloodstained Mire. If our opponent plays a 3-drop, like Liliana, we'll definitely counter it. Maybe they're on the Lingering Souls plan? I guess that would make sense. Opponent's also down to 7, which means... Collective Brutality... Well, counter draw. Fatal Push stops a Death Shadow here. Not a horrible draw. Inquisition takes a Fatal Push. Okay. Play the island. Pass the turn. Man, we're... how do we close out this game? Lingering Souls. Now, we're going to counter draw for the time being. Actually, are we? I think we are. Ooh, Nile Spellbomb's pretty good. And a Tar Pit. So play Spellbomb. Crack it. Draw a card. Get rid of that Lingering Souls. And a Counter Squall. Play our Creeping Tar Pit. This might let us close out the game, depending on what our opponent has. Counter Squall's 2 damage. And then that's 2 Tar Pit attacks. We are susceptible to exactly Death Shadow at the moment. Liliana. Yeah, we're gonna Counter Squall. Put our opponent to 5. This puts our opponent under a... Overgrown Tomb. Tapped. This puts our opponent under a ton of pressure. Fire up Tar Pit. Hit our opponent. Down to 2. Play Watery Grave. Tapped. Our opponent can't take a single Tar Pit hit without dying. Kolaghan's Command's also lethal. Snapcaster, and our opponent scoops it up. We got there. Well, no Cryptic or Cruel Ultimatums, but we just ground through Death Shadow. That was pretty good. We'll take it. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, take a second and click that like button down below. It's a great way to help support the channel for free. And you can find the next video in the playlist right here.